Neal, you're usually out quick as a flash, but you spent a little bit more time in the changing room at the end of the game. What were you telling them?
Wasn't in the changing room. I went back in my office after I spoke to him. I'm not happy, obviously. With everything that's gone on, with all that me and the staff went through last night, with the rigmarole of what had happened, and the game being on, you feel a bit let down because that team is good enough to win the game of football, and they should win the game of football. You score 2 goals at home. You expect to win a game of football, but we do our homework on the opposition and set pieces. They were a big, strong team, and we said set pieces, and we made sure players knew their jobs. But as a manager, there's nothing more frustrating when a player doesn't do his job. I'll get the criticism for it, but it's a player not doing his job that's let me down, and it's happened twice today from set plays. And that leaves you then chasing games, chasing your tail a bit, and you become anxious. You probably become a worse team in the last 20 minutes. But we should have really been out of sight in the first 30.
Hindsight's always 20/20, and I know that when I ask this question. But in hindsight, with the players that are out, key players that are out, do you know what, we should have postponed it instead?
Well, there's lots more than just postponing the game. You postpone the game this week. What happens next week with the FA Cup? Because the same set of players have tested positive and are 10 days into an isolation. So you maybe then open it up and say, well, we're not safe, we're not sure the team's safe. Now all of a sudden you could be out of the FA Cup because you can't fulfil the fixture. You won't get a second chance. So there's a number of things that go beyond that. If you postpone the game now and it happens again, do you keep postponing when you've got a hectic schedule anyway? We tried to do the right thing and the fair thing, which was to say we can field a team, and this team, the bubble has proved negative. We should try and fulfil the fixture if we can, and we've done it, and the team should still win the game of football if they do their jobs from set plays. It's as simple as that. They've had, I think, 3 shots on goal all game other than set plays, and 2 from outside the box, and the 3rd goal that's a breakaway.
It seems to have been a bit of a theme in recent years at Meadow Lane, is the inability to defend set plays consistently enough. Why do you think that is?
Don't know. I mean, you look at what we've got on the pitch. The way we try and play good football, and you see it with the goals we scored, with the first goal, with Ruben's goal. It's good football, it's open play, which we keep scoring from. But if you put teams out and players out like that, sometimes they're not all 6'2", and you then got your 2 centre halves, Carl Wooten, a 6'2", 6'3", and then after that you're asking 6 foot, 5'11" players to do the marking, and the opposition were 7, 6'1", 6'2" players. So you're asking them to do the marking, and you're asking them to do the job for the team, and you expect them to. Stay with your man, don't give him a free header in your box, and it's happened twice.
Should Sam Barrett still have been on the pitch to score that second?
Based on?
He'd already been booked, and could have been booked again when there was the argument that he cynically stopped a counter-attack.
I don't know. I'm not going to start picking holes in that. At the end of the day, my own team to focus on. Should we have won that game? Yeah. Did Maidenhead play well and really give it everything? Absolutely, and they deserve what they got from the game, because we didn't do our set pieces. And as a manager, that was one of my main things from my team talk. Long throws, set pieces, defend them properly, play your football, you'll have a great chance of winning the game.
Don't want to make excuses for your players, but we talked about mood and the impact that the positive COVID tests could have on the game. Obviously it had an impact on the game because it meant that key players couldn't play, but do you think it had an impact on the mood of your players going into it?
I mean, we're fortunate to be doing our jobs. I've said that before. We had a chance to go top tonight. For me, that should be motivation to put everything else aside. I don't know if it's affected the performance or not, but I'm not going to use it as an excuse. That team was capable of winning a game of football, and had that team done what I asked them to and defended their set plays with resilience and not give away silly free kicks or throws, which we did, we would have won the game and we'd be top, but we're not, because we didn't.
Grateful of a spare midweek?
Yeah, it's nice. Well, particularly with what's gone on, it's nice to be able to have it. It's been a tough first schedule, but like I say, happy to be playing football. And as always, when you lose a game of football, You've got to try and get over it very quickly and pick yourself up. It's a 46 game season.
So how does it all go from here over the next few days regarding testing, isolating and things like that?
Yeah, so one or two that felt a little bit poorly today will probably test Monday. We'll probably then do everybody on Wednesday that's in this bubble now to double check to give if the virus has come out a little bit later, give it a chance to come out and look at it. And then the boys that tested positive will probably do them on Friday and see. Now some, the rules state that it's from the 10 days isolation starts from when you had your symptoms, so there is a bit of a stagger with that because some players felt a little bit unwell without knowing whether it was a cold or symptoms a little bit earlier than when we did the test. So there might be players available a bit earlier than others based on that rule, so to speak, that the government have put in place.
You've been testing on and off for quite a few months now at Notts County, and up until this week everything had always come back negative, and so I imagine there was almost an air of confidence that you had going into a round of testing. But I wonder if that's gone now, and I wonder if you're actually a bit nervous about the next lot of tests. And
No, not nervous. We thought this time round we might have some because obviously we'd had feedback from Altrincham of what had happened to them. So all of a sudden, we felt that we were probably at more risk now. And in general with society and what's gone on, there's lots going on out there. It's probably worse now than it was prior to lockdown, which is why everybody needs to play their part to try and get us back where we need to be. So we knew, we're not naive, we knew we weren't going to just go sail through every test. We knew that we would have a few come up. And because of that, we felt that we might get one or two this time round.
And let's be honest, chances are this won't be the last time this season that you get positive tests. It's almost inevitable because of the way that the virus is.
Of course, and yet, you can only do everything right, which we do here. Players travelling in their own cars, but only a certain amount of players in the gym at any one time, wiping the equipment down. We really do work hard at it, but when you're on a football pitch, if somebody happens to have it in the opposition, which might well have been the case, then there's nothing you can do about that.